Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4, New Orders America. Let's continue on for last off. So we have defeated Burgundy. We split the territory between France and Germany. We've established a demilitarized zone. Everything is looking pretty good, I would say. Like, we're happy. Like, this is probably the best result we could have asked for. I don't know. Like, Germany was not going to give up more territory to the French. As nice as that would be, obviously they were not going to do this. Canvas NPP senators for support. New capital of Belize. Good for Belize. What I want, though, is I want more support for the Progressive Caucus. Like, they're down like 32%. Like, that's not very good at all. Okay, you're 1980 tech. Military engineering. What do we have for 1970? We'll just get whatever trucks and tanks are available for us. And we can improve our jets. There we go. Get you up to advanced. Looks good to me. And now these guys get to get away all the way back to Europe, but that's fine. They'll get it done eventually. So how many folks do we have left? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So there's 19 main focuses. Of course, there will be the oil crisis, which, I mean, it is going to happen, which locks us out of these, because these require us to not be in crisis. And the oil crisis is a crisis, unfortunately. So we are, I'm hoping we'll be able to get our way down here. Again, we should have until January of 73 to finish that up. Sure, let's also destabilize Japan, just for the fun of it. Does that reduce our tensions at all? Annual decay minus 2.5. So the answer is no, unfortunately. Apparently our tensions are actually still quite high, still 45%. I'm surprised that they are still that high. I mean, we do have an open border now with Germany, so it kind of makes sense. Well, I mean, I say that. We had a border with them already through Italy, and they didn't seem to care that much. Iberian economic miracle. You should. Gains indulge the Führer. Opinion of Germany plus 50. Invest decision to invest in Eastern Europe. I mean, I guess they could also be doing stuff with the Mediterranean as well. So I don't think that matters too much for them. You guys, though, you should join the OFN as quickly as possible. The OFN will welcome you with open arms. Prediction now. Let's now go to the south. We'll campaign in, New Mexico, Arizona. I don't know if that's really considered the south, but I mean, it's not. It's more like, is it just the west? What is that area called? Like flyover country? I'm sure it's got like a better name than that for sure, but I'm not too sure what it would be. By the way, how long does each day take now? Because it feels like, quite a while, to put it mildly. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about 4 seconds per day. Which is a long time, Let's just make compare that to like the early game where each day is like half a second, 1 second at most. Okay, foreign policy. What do we have for you? Is there anything we can do that's, like, free? I want to do some, like, free things. But it looks like, I think everything costs money. 15, 15, 30. Sure, we'll stabilize Iberia a little bit more. I think that seems good. Strength of 14, strength of 8, strength of 11. Choosing our SCOTUS nominee, of course, we're going to go for a liberal option. And where does that put us now? Does that put us at 6? No, moderately liberal, 4 to 5. I think that seems fairly reasonable. There'll be no compromise with the South. And how are you guys actually looking? And we're still equal. Like, there's very East Southern fears. Talk to hardline supporters. It's very unlikely for us to get assassinated at this point, unless I actively try my best to get us killed. But I don't see a reason for us to do that. I don't see a reason for me to try to get us assassinated. You know, it doesn't seem like a great thing for us here. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's still something we can do that would throw us for a bit of a loop. So prediction is 5 more seats for the progressives. And 2 seats for the Republicans, which is fine. So we're going to lose some seats, but, I mean, overall, the progressives are going to be by far the strongest party in the country. Which is good. I mean, you're going to go down to, what, 15 seats? The Nationalist Caucus, like, they're not even trying at this point. Like, it's just a shame. It's just embarrassing, really, that they would even, they're even here. Like, do we even need a nationalist in our caucus at this point? We might as well just align ourselves with the Democrats and form, like, the Progressive Democrat Caucus. Those who burn crosses. They wear no badges, no armbands. By day, they go without masks. On weekend nights, they go together. The tradesmen, the teachers, the shopkeepers, and they doff the white robes and pointed hoods and meet on the hill above town. They drag forward the man with the wrong skin color who is seen talking with the wrong girl, and they hang him high. He watches these faceless specters through tear-washed eyes as his lungs gasp and his throat collapses. He is left swinging in the light of the morning. They are the Ku Klux Klan, the ghost of a regime that died 100 years ago, stubbornly refusing to give up their archaic beliefs of their forebears. The KKK infests the southern states like a plague of termites in a rotten house, burrowing into the state governments and institutions to spread their influence. Once they have taken their holds, they pump their filth into the minds and hearts of the southerners, ever growing like a tumor. It is time something to be done about these masked cowards. We need to break their influence and back the South. Take back the South. But it won't be easy. If we don't do this with the finesse, we'll likely spark civil dissent across the South and have to endure political strife in Washington if it looks like we're targeting the Klan because they have different beliefs than us. We could try to draft a bill to ban them outright, or we could try going under the table. Either way, they will not take it lying down. You know what? Ban the Klan. Let us ban the KKK. Yes, we will get 45 points to try to bolster the Progressive Caucus at least a little bit. The red dress of grievances. Writing a bill is easy, but getting it passed is tough, especially when Congress is packed with reactionaries who will filibuster anything that reeks even slightly of progressivism. To get past our enemies, we need to draft this perfectly and go over every word to make sure there's a little to excitement as possible. We can't vacillate forever. The time has come to get down to the brass tacks. Keep in mind that the First Amendment guarantees freedom of speech and association. Do we try to rip out the loopholes and ban the Klan outright, or try to drive them underground instead, and save ourselves flailing in Congress? We can make them illegal. The rights of minorities will improve. You know what? Freedom of speech doesn't excuse. Make them illegal. Can we, like, there's not, like, just declare them like a terrorist organization? Is that a thing that we can do? I'm not too sure. Okay, how are you guys looking again? You're still stable. Very happy to see it. Their election is going to be in July of 72. And we'll see kind of who gets elected in Iberia. Hopefully it's like a liberal regime that will be favorable to American interest in Iberia. I mean, it sounds good to me. Do we need... is there like an actual vote for banning the KKK? Or is it... okay, it's not a vote in the traditional sense here. Well, presumably we're going to get another pop-up being like, the nationalists are mad at us. Okay, earthquake in Peru. But unfortunately, Peru is a Japanese-aligned state, so I don't care about them that much. Our ban on the KKK has been a pure, unmitigated disaster. Not only has it failed to stop their now illegal activities, it has turned out to be completely unenforceable as Southern police, most likely Klan members themselves, refuse to break up Klan meetings and arrest known leaders. Klan affiliates have been screaming themselves hoarse on almost every radio station that broadcasts south of the Mason-Dixon. Free speech rallies have been held in several major southern cities, and as a cherry on top of this Sunday, we're getting whipped in every which way in Washington by the Republicans and the rightists in their own party. Even the Democrats aren't too keen on it. To make matters worse, if that's possible, the Klan is planning a huge rally atop Stone Mountain in Georgia, where they're going to burn a giant wooden cross to be visible all over Atlanta. We have no choice but to send in the army to watch over the gathering and keep the peace. But even that will not leave law and order teetering on a nice edge. If this does go wrong in the south, it could end up like a pile of dry wood struck by lightning. We can only hope that it doesn't turn ugly. When their backs are against the wall, men will burn the symbol of their warship, are liable to burn anything. I mean, it doesn't sound great. The Stone Mountain Massacre. It's still unclear who shot first. Before the cross has even been lit, tensions were high atop Stone Mountain. Turnout was several times what we expected, and our troops were massively outnumbered by clan members, both masked and boldly unmasked, many armed. A single sudden shot was all it took to light the powder keg, and Stone Mountain erupted into a sudden and horrific violence as our troops opened fire on the crowd, and the clansmen followed suit. By the time the shooting stopped and the smoke had cleared, 25 bodies lay underneath the smoldering cross on the mountaintop. 4 soldiers and 21 civilians, all suspected clansmen. Their wives and daughters weep on television screens all over America. The South is ready to explode, and the rest of the country isn't much better. People are in uproar over what they see as the government murdering people who are protesting against breaking their First Amendment. Radio demagogues ask whom the Yankee hit squads will go after next. Needless to say, it's bad for us. Goldwater, Thurmond, and their allies are screaming red faces in Congress, and there's not a newspaper in the news program in the nation on our side right now. Even many of our staunchest political allies are distancing themselves from us. Right now, the country's in shock, and all we can hope for is that it fades quickly. But, sitting alone on his unlit office and thinking of the murdered brother, the president had a bad feeling that the Stone Mountain Massacre, as they're calling it, will stain his legacy like nicotine. Usually decreases political parties, multi-party system. Political power minus 150. Nativist voters and rural voters and urbanist voters will support the Republicans, the Sovereigntists, and the Democrats. I mean, it's not it's not good for us, okay? It looks bad. Prediction right now, but we're still getting seats. At least at the moment. We'll see maybe when the new polls come out. If that will swing one way or the other. Uninspiring NPP campaign. Let us go and campaign here. Let's get that going. I don't want to lose seats. Special campaign in the south. The Sovereigntists aren't going to win a seat, right? No, there's no way. They might get one. You know, Alabama, Mississippi. I wouldn't be surprised if they have like 1 vote. We go to popularities. Support here is high. I mean, this is still very, very low. So, chances are the Sovereignist support getting anywhere. It's not very, very high. They might all swing to the Nationalist. Okay, there been a coup in Argentina. They're still despotic, but can they be our despots? No, they're kind of doing their own sphere of influence thing. A little disappointing, because I would like them to be in my sphere of influence, but I can't really force them, at least not yet. We get 4 political power per day. Like, it's actually kind of crazy how much political power we actually gain here. Now we're seen as a dangerous progressive. You know what? That is fair. Let's ease Southern fears, because we kind of have to, after a little bit of a massacre. So maybe we will, this time around, cut back a little bit. We will not go as hard as we did against the clan. Not that I regret it. I would do it again. But I'll be done in 6 days. So right now we're seen as a dangerous progressive. There'll be no compromises. So law and order, a dream deferred. Let's next go for reining Hoover in. We're not going to finish the progressive tree, or not the progressive tree, for the justice tree. I mean, is there a reason not to? I don't know. We'll finish reign Hoover. We'll examine the police force, and then I guess we'll do law and order. I don't know if it matters which order we do these things in. Like, if we reined in Hoover and the police before we tried to ban the Klan, if that would have had a different outcome. My gut says no, it probably would have ended up the same, but I can't say with 100% certainty. No compromises. Guy grimaced watching the president front the cameras. To put it mildly, he looked like shit. Stressed out of his mind from finagling the party's segregationist harpies. Bobby had barely gotten a lick of sleep in the past 3 days. Even the best makeup artist in Washington couldn't hide it. Outwardly stoic, Guy wanted to bury his head in his hands. Every time the cameras cut back to Bobby, he got angry and hairier, like a goddamn werewolf. Christ almighty, he was sweating like Nixon. There will be absolutely no compromise on civil rights, exclaimed the president vigorously, while also looking like he'd faint any second. My administration is 100% committed to equal rights for every American. The age of Jim Crow must end. America is better. We are better than this. To hold people in contempt for nothing more than the color of their skin? Oh, fuck that guy. He's going off script. Any American who denies his fellow for his race, continued the president, is an enemy of the National Progressive Pact, and above all, an enemy of America himself. Guy wanted to vomit right there. In the White House press room, things were rocky with Thurman and Walsh's gang, and this was going to make things a lot worse. He wondered if his phone was already ringing off the hook. Still, the sort of thing electrified the blacks. Clenching his jaw, Guy prayed that America's newly enfranchised African Americans would make themselves heard at the polling booth. Okay, Natives voters are going to become more Republican and sovereignist. Black voters become more progressive. We get 50 political power. Fantastic. One day you will be finished. And now we are a danger to the right. We're no longer a dangerous progressive. We're a danger to the right. Which, I mean, doesn't really sound that much better, but it is okay. So I guess we actually got, like, 3 points of liberalism by having a massacre? I mean, it's not a surprise that maybe would make people shift their viewpoint of you one way or another. Change of leadership in the Marxist caucus. That is fine, I guess. You're now at 60% approval. Maintain social spending. We get 45 points on you. And let us also denounce Japanese imperialism. The war on pacifism. You don't need either of those two right now. It doesn't really make a big difference for us. I mean, people still vote progressive. Even after a slight massacre. That's not enough to get the people to actually completely oppose Bobby Kennedy. They're still happy with him right now, which I'm happy to see. I'm happy that people are happy with me. And again, Iberia, we still don't know. Is the fist bad or is the fist good? That seems bad. It's like it's uprising. Extremely stable. Well. Okay. I'm happy for Iberia. Uninspiring NPP campaign. God damn it. Senate. Prediction is a one swing vote. Do another campaign in the Rockies. We'll get that one going. Okay, RDC respectful campaign. I mean, we have almost 50% popularity. You know, like, people still love us. So, like, I don't know why everybody's so upset. Just because we had a little bit of a massacre? Okay. Poll's been updated. Prediction is... It's so fucking funny, because the collapse is actually for the nationalists. The progressives, again, we're still gaining seats. We're still going to have a majority. It might make passing laws in the future a little bit more difficult. But, I mean, if we have more progressives, then we need less votes from other parties. Like, if it's just us and we can work with the Democrats, like, I still think that's still a good spot for us. It's still a good spot for us. A step towards autonomy. Lars Emil Johnson knew that he was not exactly on the road that he had started out on. After graduation, most expected that he would begin his teaching career. Instead, he was up at Upnarvik Research Station, where everything was going to change. He kept tabs on both Jonathan Motzfeldt and Moses Olsen's movement, and after graduation, reached out to them. They enthusiastically responded and invited him to the upcoming Congress, where they said they'd be taking a major step in the fight for Greenland's autonomy. They hadn't been exaggerating. To the delight of the crowd in attendance, both men announced their formation of the political party Smut in Greenland, the first political party devoted to home rule. Olsen and Motzfeldt explained that the core tenets of the party would be Greenland's autonomy and freedom, and the implementation of a humane, democratic socialism. They concluded with a call for everybody in attendance to join and help the movement succeed. A questionable, perhaps insane idea had formed in Emil Johansson's mind as he listened to the outlining vision. There were going to be elections for Greenland's provincial council in this next year, and everyone could take part. So why not him? He was educated, he was willing to fight, and he was wanting to make a difference. Why not like this? After signing up, he decided to stand in front of the gathered crowd and declared that he would run in the council elections, and he called on others to do so as well. It was met with cheers, approving applause, and all to the clear delight of the two men he had begun this movement. Emil Johnson beamed as he heard the cheers, and at that moment, it seemed certain that they would succeed. Independence is inevitable. Let's get more infrastructure, because again, that does boost up our GDP. Build it in DC. Build it in Rhode Island. I mean, it's looking good. We have so many factories. Like, we build a lot of infrastructure very, very quickly. And that is going to bolster GDP. From 21 out of 56 total powered states. Do I need to build more power stations as well? I mean, I see like it does a lot less than the infrastructure. And that caps out at 520. So, I mean, that seems good. Inflation, I mean, it's staying below 10%, which is where I want it to be. Those who work forces. Let's finish the law and order tree. Can I do another easing of Southern fears? Not yet. Not yet. But we need to bring our liberalism down. We are simply too liberal. The troll under the bridge. Nobody said reforming a nation would be easy. But what the whole lot's painful if our own employees weren't actively scheming against us. Using the FBI as his own personal army of spies, Hoover has become one of the most powerful and feared men in the country, covertly infiltrating government organizations all across America, allegedly amassing a huge quantity of blackmailing material and carrying out clandestine and often illegal operations. In essence, they're a shadow government within the government, infesting our institution like a dormant tuberculosis bacteria, just waiting for the condition to be right for them to awaken. This has to stop. Though he should be our obedient underling, Hoover is effectively becoming a rogue spy master for an unprecedented level of power and clout, and his interests are very often at odds with our own. He's far too entrenched in the FBI to be effectively neutralized, but perhaps we can give him a bit of our own medicine to unleash on him and stop his unethical operations. There have been unseemly rumors about Hoover and his longtime protege Clyde Tolson floating around for decades, involving all-male parties and fugitive visits from handsome young men in the middle of the night. Hoover may like dirty tricks, but two can play at that game. Let's fling his closet open and see what skeletons fly out. But I'll say for right now, this seems like a good time for us to end this episode. So if you have enjoyed, my thumbs up. Not doing, always thumb down. You want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.